Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you're here. I hope your week has been a good one. And we're here to wrap up the week with another amazing story. And this one coming to us from Zetta Elliott. And it is called Milo's Museum. And it is illustrated by Purple Wong. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you are well. And glad we could be here together to wrap up the week on this beautiful note. Wonderful book. Yes, much celebrated work from Zetta Elliott. If you've not seen it, well, what are you waiting for? Go to your local library and ask for Zetta Elliott books. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And of course, too, if you'd like to see, if you're in the Bay and you'd like to see Zetta Elliott in action, in person, well, come on out to the Bay Area Book Festival on May 31st. And you get to see Zetta there in session. So make a date, mark your calendars, come and join us. Thank you indeed for joining us here today on Storytime. This will be happening at the Berkeley Public Library. So come on out. I do have a session there as well, and I will be with Nidhi Chanani, Sonali Padodia, and of course, Christo Patterson. So come on out and join us as well in our session. Quiet voices, loud feelings. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime, and many others will be there too. So make a date, come on out and join us at the Bay Area Book Festival. And all information can be found at baybookfest.org. So come on out and have some fun. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And of course, too, we're looking forward to Pamela Courtney's book that is coming out on May 20th. Come on out. Pre-order now. Go out to your local libraries, ask for this book, and get to enjoy a season for fishing, a fish fry tradition coming out May 20th. So keep that one in mind. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And of course, we are reading a special book coming to us from Zetta Elliott and Purple Wong. And this one is called Milo's Museum. So get ready, get cozy, get comfortable. We'll be getting started very shortly. Anything exciting that you're looking forward to the weekend? I hope it is a good one to you. And of course, if it's just rest, I hope you get to do that too. It is important. Listen to your body. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. I'll be right back after this very short break when we're back with our story for today.
Hi, friends. I'm Marietta Apollonio, the author and illustrator of Jack the Library Cat, and you are watching my family's favorite Storytime with Mr. Limata. Bye.
Welcome back. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Marietta Apollonio, Jack the Library Cat. If you've not seen that one, go and get acquainted. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Milo's Museum is coming right up. This one is written by Zetta Elliott, illustrations by Purple Wong. And of course, this one is the self-published book by Zetta Elliott, or Rosetta Press, as she calls it. Milo's Museum. Written by Zetta Elliott, illustrations by Purple Wong, and published by Rosetta Press. Let's see, there we go. Camera lost focus for a second. Milo woke up feeling excited. Today, her class was going to the museum. Mommy and Daddy had to work, but Papa went along as a chaperone. When they reached the museum, Milo's teacher told the class that their tour guide was called a docent. A docent is a person who teaches us about what's inside the museum, Mrs. Liu explained. The docent was a white-haired woman named Anne. She led the children from room to room, stopping to tell them interesting things about certain sculptures and paintings. Who else loves to visit museums here? Yeah, me too. Once the tour was over, Mrs. Liu gave the children some time to explore the museum on their own. Milo held her grandfather's hand as they wandered through the rooms together. She stopped in front of a giant mirror and looked at her reflection. Milo could see her classmates admiring the works of art. She liked most of the art too, but something didn't feel right. What was it? Milo tugged at her grandfather's hand. What are museums for, Papa? Well, he said, museums hold all the objects that people feel are valuable or important, things from long ago and from today. Museums are full of stories, really. Does that answer your question? He asked. Milo nodded to show Papa she understood, but she still felt funny inside. When they got home, Milo sat on the front porch and watched her world go by. She waved at neighbors as they walked along the sidewalk and nodded her head to the beat when a car drove down the street blasting rap music. Milo hummed along as the ice cream truck circled the block, trailed by laughing kids clutching dollar bills. So many faces, sounds, and stories made up her world. But none of it was in the museum. Milo frowned. So many faces, sounds, and stories made up her world, but none of it was in the museum. Milo frowned. Feeling funky, Mama? Milo jumped up and ran to give her Aunt Vashti a hug. They sat down on the porch steps, but Milo didn't say a word until her aunt nudged her and asked, "Why so glum, Glum?" "We aren't in the museum," Milo said quietly. "I want to know why." Aunt Vashti took a deep breath and held Milo's hand in her own. "The curator decides what goes inside the museum." "What about us?" asked Milo. "Don't we get a say?" What about us? Don't we get a say? "We vote with our feet," said Aunt Vashti. "We go see the exhibits that mean the most to us. Those magnificent mummies we saw last year were borrowed from another museum in Cairo." "I remember," said Milo, "but we shouldn't have to wait for a special exhibit to see ourselves in the museum." "You're right," said Aunt Vashti. She put her arm around Milo's shoulder and gave her niece a squeeze. "So, what are you going to do about it?" "Me?" Milo said with surprise. "What can I do?" You could try writing a letter to the curator," Aunt Vashti suggested. "Or," Milo saw the sparkle in her aunt's brown eyes. "Oh, what?" "You could make your own museum," Aunt Vashti replied. Then she kissed the top of Milo's head and went inside. Oh, your own museum. Can Milo do it? Milo sat on the porch steps and thought about what Papa had said. Museums hold all the things that people feel are valuable or important. Milo dashed upstairs to her bedroom. She took out her journal and made a list. Then she went downstairs and set the table for dinner. Why are you giggling? Mommy asked. Do you have fun? Do you have fun at the museum today? Asked Daddy. Milo nodded but didn't say a word. Aunt Vashti winked at her and Milo winked back. Oh. Did you have fun at the museum today? The next day, Milo took her suitcase out of the closet. She carefully packed her items inside and went out to the backyard. Running away from the house? Running away from home? Nana teased from the porch. Wait and see, said Milo. Milo put her suitcase across the grass and stopped at her playhouse. What should she do first? Milo thought about her class trip the day before. She took off her book bag and put out her journal. With a purple marker, she wrote Milo's Museum. Milo tore the sheet of paper out of her journal and taped it above her playhouse. When that was done, Milo unzipped her suitcase. Her playhouse didn't have any glass cases or velvet ropes, but Milo set up her exhibit as best she could. When she was ready to give her first tour, Milo asked everyone in her family to come outside. Welcome to my museum, she told them with a proud smile. I am Milo, your curator and docent. You're allowed to touch things in my museum, she said. Just be careful. Oh. Nana and Papa were the first to take Milo's tour. These baby booties were needed by my great grandma Sally, said Milo. She was born down south where it's warm, but it gets cold here in Philly, so she needed some mittens too. Papa picked up the red leather box. Tell me about this, he said, even though he already knew the story. That belonged to my great great grandpa Jack, Milo told him. He fought in France during World War One and was so brave they gave him that medal. It's called the Croix de Guerre. Pardon my French too. Yeah, it's called the Croix de Guerre. Milo wasn't sure she said that right, so she added, that means cross of war. Milo's parents came in next. She handed a framed photograph to her mother and said, this is a picture that was taken at last summer's block party. You and Daddy slow danced in the middle of the street. Milo giggled and held out her arm. I still have one of the bracelets we made on Nessa's stoop. Then she turned to her father. This is a statue of Isis that I got at the other museum. She was a goddess in Egypt a long time ago. And Vashti says, Isis looks a bit like me. Daddy kissed Milo's cheek and said, Auntie is right. And Vashti came in last. Milo held up a carved Christmas tree ornament. My Uncle Rod sent this from Germany, she explained. Milo pointed to the brown-skinned man wearing a jeweled crown. That's Balthazar, one of the three kings. And Vashti nodded before pointing at something else on the wall. What's that? She asked. That is the jersey I wear when I play softball, Milo told her. My team has never won a trophy, but we still play hard and have fun. And Vashti gave Milo a hug. Your museum is wonderful, she said. "Ah, I think so too." By the time Milo finished giving a tour to everyone in her family, several of her neighbors had come into the yard. Two of her classmates were already standing in line, eager to see Milo's exhibit. "It's so cool that we have a museum right in our neighborhood," Mallory exclaimed. "I want to open my own museum too," said Hector. "Why don't you two add something to the collection?" Milo suggested. "That way, our museum will be a mirror for the whole community." Hector and Mallory agreed. Milo looked at all the friends, family members, and neighbors in her yard. Then she took out her purple marker and made a new sign. It was no longer Milo's museum, but the People's Museum. Mwah. And that is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining in today on Storytime. This one is coming to us from Zetta Elliott and illustrations by Purple Wong. And it is a self-published book by Zetta Elliott. Thank you so much for letting us read it here on Storytime. Milo's Museum. If you found that interesting, I hope that you can ask for it at your local library. And of course, if you go to zettaelliott.com, you'll be able to find all these amazing books. Thank you so much for joining in here today on Storytime. I'll see you on the other side of this short break when we're back with more Storytime.
You're watching Storytime with Maple and Cypress. Just kidding. You're watching Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Welcome back. Thank you, Ari, out there in Kentucky. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you indeed for joining in Storytime. Everybody that is here live with us right now, thank you. And of course, if you're joining in later on for the recordings, a big thank you to you as well. I hope that you have had a wonderful day or having a wonderful day. And Storytime is glad to be a part of that day. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Many amazing books, many creators out there, some still coming out new, others old classics, right? As I say, old is gold. We always go back to them for sure. And and many others. I hope you get to enjoy so many wonderful books. Of course, if you're looking for inspiration, you can always go into the Storytime archives and see all the different titles that we have there and get to see which one you want to read next. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And remember, too, talking of new books, Pamela Courtney has a brand new book coming out on May 20th. Oof, very, very soon, May 20th. 25 days away. 26 days away, thereabouts. So it is coming. I hope that you're able to get a copy of that. And of course, remember too, you don't have to buy one if you're not able, right? You can always ask for one at your local library. Ask your library to stock it so you can borrow it, take it back, and somebody else can use it too. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And remember too that on May 31st, we will be at the the Bay Area Book Festival at the Berkeley Public Library. So come and join us. And there are many presenters, many things happening, but this is just one of the sessions. Quiet voices, loud feelings. And you can find me there with Nidhi Shanani, Sonali Padodia, and Crystal Patterson. So come on out, join us, have fun with us, be a part of the wonderful read alouds and conversations that will be happening. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. And I will see you again when we're back on Monday with more exciting stories. So keep an eye out, and of course send in those recommendations as well. What books would you like to see and hear right here on Storytime? Thank you indeed for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend ahead. I hope that it is a good one. I hope your Saturday, your Sunday, whatever you're up to, I hope it is good. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. A big thank you one more time to Zetta Elliott, and of course all the amazing work and the voice that she brings into the literary world. And she takes the journey of self-publishing some of the books that may not be accepted in mainstream publishing, but she works hard and brings them out and makes sure that those voices are heard as well. Yes, and who doesn't want museums that represent the entire community, right? The entire community, your entire country. And please look into it, as right now we know that some of the museums are at risk of losing funding and losing some of those amazing exhibits. So I hope that we can donate. I hope that we can write letters to our leaders and get to advocate for those amazing places. And so those places that do tell the history and do tell the amazing diversity that we have in our communities. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I will see you again when we're back next week on Monday with another live story. This has been Storytime for this week. This has been Storytime on this beautiful Friday morning. It is beautiful out here in the Bay. I hope it is beautiful where you are too. Biggest of hugs, and I will see you again on Monday when we are back. Thank you for joining in. Remember, you can always find Storytime at a time that works best for you, at a time that's most convenient for you, whether it's when you're making dinner, maybe you're hanging out somewhere and you'd like to read a story. Well, Storytime with MrLimata.com, Storytime with Miss Limata on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, you can always follow all the things Storytime on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you again on Monday. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely. Won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Oh, story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely. Won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.